Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the YTPC. Got a special package today. Didn't do the Yabo because it was only a couple tins, but got a couple of unobtainium tins of Germains from Taiwan. We got Hampton, flake, and century mixture, which is in English with a topping. But today I wanted to do a first impression of this Southampton flake. And actually, yeah, I decided, this would be the first one I'd do. It's flake form. I can feel them. It's not a broken flake or anything. But it comes in the same tin as Penzance, Stonehaven, Special Atakia flake, brown flake. They're square. They're typical square tins. Let's see what we got. Not really much kind of has a natural dark fruity sweetness to it. Smell, anyways. Oh yeah. Oh my God. What? What? Oh man, you know what this looks like? This looks like Stonehaven. And it smells like Stonehaven minus the topping. Minus the, look how dark these flakes are. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that big old flake. That thing is a monster. Beautiful. Wow. Let me pull another. Oh my God. Ugh. Just gorgeous. Much darker brown than the typical brown flake, and that's why I say it kind of reminds me of Stonehaven, but it doesn't have that really sweet kind of alcohol smell. It almost has like a dark earthy coffee, kind of a dark fruity earthy coffee, and I can see there's little sugar crystals here and there. um, I can already see plume was starting to form. Uh, but it's just, I just can't even wait to smoke this. Look at that. And they're all, it looks just like a decent little stack of these bad boys. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Man. I am really looking forward to smoking a bowl of this here in a minute. Uh, yeah, so glad that I was able to find a way to get this. Because I've been really wanting to try it. Nobody else here in the US has done any reviews on it that I can find. I can't find any reviews in the English language or any language for that matter, but I'm fixing to do one. So anyway, this is the Southampton flake, a dark flake made with air cured and Virginia tobaccos. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a piece of papyrus here. And these are pretty solid flakes here too. They're not like quite as thin as Stonehaven is. I would say Stonehaven comes almost paper thin. If in the tin, at least the two tins that I've opened were like that. And as well as the bags, they come that way as well. Man, it's quite wet. Uh, Almost like a Galwith flake. It's like beef jerky or something. It doesn't have a. Yeah, look at that! Holy crap! Yeah, that's gonna have to dry for quite some time because it is like sopping wet, kind of goopy almost, similar to Stonehaven. Ooh, jeez. I think this is gonna be awesome. This stuff just looks great. Um, it looks like like when I envisioned brown flake. I remember a while ago. This is kind of how I envisioned it, like a toppingless Stonehaven, but it's not. Brown flake isn't that way. It's in my opinion, brown flake is this. I'm thinking may very well have a topping on it. By the stickiness of it, it may very well have a little bit of a topping because it's just so wet. I mean, I just don't see, a natural tobacco being this wet. Because I like the Bridge Old Brown Flake wasn't like this. It wasn't quite this sticky, or the regular brown flake as well. But kind of like Stonehaven or Rich Dark Flake for sure. So definitely gonna check this stuff out and see how it goes. But anyway, I'm gonna let it dry for a little while. It's gonna need a little bit, and come back and with a packed bowl and do a char light and tell you guys what's going on. So back here, guys, just did the charring light on this Hampton flake, Southampton flake. Right off the bat, it's quite bold. Um, a lot of flavor there. I would almost say this is like I couldn't tell you about the nicotine content and stuff yet, but flavor wise, this is a more bold version, I would almost say, of Stonehaven or Rich Dark Flake. Like even more. Um, I think this has probably got a pretty decent nicotine content. Tastes very similar to Stonehaven and Rich Dark Flake for sure, but it doesn't have. Um, I don't think it has quite as much of a topping. A little bit more tobacco-y. Really nice, pleasant smoke though so far. Just a nice, pleasant, chocolatey kind of a flavor, I would say. Maybe like chocolate covered raisins or something. Quite earthy. It's nice. So, back here, guys, about a little more than halfway through this pipe here, with this lovely Hampton flake. And I feel like, I can go ahead and continue. We'll talk about it and give you guys an idea what's going on. First off, I'd have to say this is probably nicotine content wise the highest nicotine content tobacco that I've had from Germain's yet. Um, I don't think I've had one that had a kick like this. I mean, this has got a kick like a mule. This Hampton Flake. I mean, it has got a kick like a mule. I will say that because, I've heard people say that they thought Stonehaven or Rich Dark Flake was, their Bay Burrs, Virginia Burley blends. And I never saw them as like super high nicotine content blends. They never struck me as that when I smoked them. whereas this one definitely does. Kind of reminds me of the Sterling Flake by Rat Rays, or I've never had Irish Flake, but I would imagine this is very similar to that, nicotine wise, because this is, like I said, it does have quite a bit of nicotine in it, more so than I'm used to. Uh, I guess maybe this time of day anyway, or something. I don't know, but it's got a lot of body to it. I guess from the Burley edition. Um, and that's what strikes me the most about this blend is the the strength of it, the boldness of it. I mean, I almost want to say it's not delicate, but it does have that signature Germain's delicacy to it. I mean, it really is a high quality tobacco. You can, I mean, just flat out top of the line tobacco. But got a lot of nicotine. It's just got a lot of nicotine. I mean, it's simple as that. There's no other way to put it. Um, I wish I had ate a full meal before I did this review, this first impression. Would have been nice. This is definitely an after dinner type deal. It's got more nicotine than full Virginia Flake. I had a bowl of full Virginia Flake last night. And I didn't, it wasn't noticeable. Whereas, typically I talk about what's noticeable. When I do a first impression, I don't want to pick it apart. I want to talk about the stuff that really stands out. Um, the stuff that really, um, that really sticks out to me. The stuff that I feel like is everybody will get that out of it. Stuff like that. The loudest part of the blend, if you will. What speaks to me. And this one, the nicotine is what speaks to me. It's got a lot of nicotine in it, more so than any other Germain's blend that I've ever had. It's almost, and it's exactly what I expected. That's what's funny about it. When I bought this, I was expecting a toppingless Stonehaven, and that is almost exactly what this is, I would say. Although it may have a topping on it still, but in my mind, it's not as sweet, not as loud. Doesn't have as much of a sugary. It's more of a natural sweetness. Like when I was smoking it earlier, it doesn't have, or as I was smoking earlier, I was trying to think. I'm getting this kind of a chocolatey flavor, but it's not super sweet. It's like a semi-sweet chocolate. It's got a nice earthy creaminess to it, but it's got like a semi-sweet chocolatey kind of a sweetness to it. And almost smells like semi-sweet chocolate, or like something like that. But like I said, the flakes are beautiful. It's a beautifully crafted tobacco. It's a shame that we don't get this here in the States, because, and I remember thinking, there are certain occasions when I really crave something with just some serious kick to it, and that Germain's and Esoterica really just don't have much to offer in that respect. Um, Stonehaven and Rich Dark Flake, they've got some punch to them. I'll give you. I mean, I'll definitely. They're satisfying blends for sure, but they don't have the nicotine that this does. This is, I've been, waiting, hoping to, that they would have one like this, basically, and I would almost say Rich Dark Flake is right in between Stonehaven and Hampton, Southampton Flake. Nicotine wise, flavor wise, like the Stonehaven has a lot more prominent of a topping to it, and the Rich Dark Flake is not as prominent, but it's still there. You get more of a tobacco-y kind of a smoke out of it, and then this takes it even more tobacco-y. You know, it's even less sweet than the rich dark flake, and even more nicotine, I would say. So it's like, you know, you've got your sweetest, lowest nicotine would be the Stonehaven, and then the middle of the road would be rich dark flake, and then your, you know, freight train steam engine would be the Hampton, Southampton flake would be the, you know, kick of the mule there, donkey punch. Um, you know, had me swimming kind of woozy feeling earlier. Got a ton of body though, super super smooth and creamy. There's no uncomfortable or stinging or uncomfortableness in the nostrils or the nasal cavity, nasal passages. Just really creamy. No tongue bite to speak of whatsoever. It really is a pleasant smoke. Damn good smoke. One, you know, hopefully I can get a few more tins of that in the future. You know, something I would have for those occasions when I do feel like a little, when I just got a big full belly, you know, when I'm just swolled out Thanksgiving style or something, and I'm just feeling like, you know, something with a good kick to it, you know, that's what I would smoke that Southampton. That's where when I would smoke it. Um, and I actually smoked some Rich Dark Flake and some Stonehaven recently, so it's I've got a pretty good frame of reference with this too. Like I said, it's almost exactly what I was hoping it was going to be when I ordered it. Because I seen they were in the square tin, so I was figuring it was going to be a good, solid, well formed flakes. You know, they weren't going to be a broken flake or anything, and that it was going to be dark, rich, dark flakes, and that's what it says: a dark flake made with air cured in Virginia tobaccos. So I was expecting a toppingless Stonehaven, and that's basically exactly what it is. It doesn't have that characteristic liquor smell that Stonehaven kind of has. That smell, that strong alcohol kind of odor that Stonehaven has. It doesn't have that. It's more of a natural, like I've used as a reference before, horse oats. How it has that kind of sweet. I think they horse oats they add sugar or maple syrup to it or something because it has a sweetness to it. And that's kind of I get that from this that sweetness from horse oats. So maybe kind of grainy, kind of like grain, getting a bit of a like barley or wheat or there's like kind of a grain flavor there, like and it really is nice. It's kind of like a chocolatey. I wouldn't say nutty. I would say more of a not bready, but grain like. You know, it kind of has like an oaty kind of a like chocolatey oats or something like that. You know, kind of has a really nice flavor though, and it gets you know deeper and darker and richer as you get down. Very rich. You know, the smoke just it's just thick and creamy. It's satisfying as all get out. You know that you smoke a bowl of this, big bowl like this, and you're good for a little while. You're good for a few hours. Where lately I've been smoking, you know, four, five, six bowls a day. I probably won't have a bowl for a couple hours after this. Really lovely though, really lovely. Hopefully they start selling it here in the U.S. because I think it would be greatly appreciated. I think this is something that people would really appreciate here. We have a ton of Irish flake fans and Sterling flake fans, guys that like rich, full, dark Virginia burley flakes, powerful flakes that will, satisfy that craving, at the end of the day, end of a long day, or after a big meal. There's a market for this blend. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. I hope you all enjoyed the first impression as much as I enjoyed getting a hold of these tobaccos and doing a first impression for you guys. And until next time, I hope you all have a good week. And I appreciate all the well wishes and the happy birthdays from everybody. And until next time, Treetop Piper over and out.